Alright, so now we're going to have some fun with these scales. Our C major, our E minor pentatonic, and our A minor pentatonic. What we're going to do is we'll put on some tracks, and at first you're going to kind of run up and down the scales along with the tracks. And this will be, it's a little bit more fun than just kind of going through the exercises, on their own. So once you have a handle on the exercises, and grab these tracks, and that can be your kind of warm up. You can think of it as where you just run through the scales, and then after that, what we're going to do is start applying them a little bit more musically. So you'll be playing the scales, but mixing up notes, going up a little bit, then a little bit back, further, and then again, as you time goes along, you'll be able to add in extra techniques like hammer-ons and pull-offs and all that kind of stuff. But right now, we're keeping things really, really simple. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're now going to take our C major scale, and we're going to put on a track, and we're going to simply go up and back down it. And I'm just going to do it a few times because you'll get the idea very quickly what you need to do. And then what you're going to do is, when you're at home, is you're going to do this a whole bunch of times. This will be part of your practice. You're going to jam along with the backing track, just going up and down the scale a whole bunch of times. Just get used to that. And then later on, what you're going to do is you're going to start jamming with it. And you're going to go up the scale a little bit, down the scale a little bit, repeat things, and just try to do the best you can to make it sound cool. Don't worry about it. It's not going to sound too impressive. You'll hear me playing. It's not going to sound overly impressive. There's only so much you can do when you're at this stage where you're going. You don't have the skills yet to add in all the cool little licks and stuff. So don't worry about that. This is not about sounding like an incredible, impressive solo. It's just about getting your fingers used to moving up and down the scale, not just up the scale and down the scale, but up a little bit, back down a little bit, up a little bit, letting notes ring out, repeating things. As we go along, you'll build up the skills, and little by little, you'll start to play some more impressive sounding, solos and stuff. So here we go. Let me start it up, and here we go. Ring out maybe a little bit. Keep going up and down. So don't worry about it if it's, it sounds a little weird, because there's certain phrasing that the rhythm guitar goes through. It kind of goes through certain cycles and then repeats again. Because you're just going up and back down, you're letting some notes ring out at the beginning and end. It's kind of messing up the rhythm. So don't worry about it. That's no big deal. It's just more fun doing it this way than just doing it to air or doing it with a boring metronome. Now, another thing you want to do that I forgot to mention is you want to just play the track and then start tapping your foot. Get used to it. You want to get that beat in your head. So as this thing's playing, without the guitar, just tap your foot a little bit. Get used to that beat. That way it's actually going to help you with going through the scales and also messing around when you're going up and back down. You're improvising. So that's an important part. Move your body, feel that beat. All right, so let me go back to the beginning again, and then we'll just do some jamming now. Went back a little bit. Back down a little bit. Repeat things like that. Speed up a little bit. Do some repeating. Every once in a while, you can go up the scale. Speed up a little bit. So forth. A little messing around there. So there you go. Again, as you go along, you'll start to do a little bit more jamming. You know, your phrasing, put some tricks in there later on, but just try and just go. You know, focus on just going up the scale, down a little bit. Don't worry about it not sounding impressive or anything. You know, you'll get there in time. You know, little baby steps. So yeah, that's it. So work on that, play around with that, and yeah, we'll just keep moving along. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing with our E minor pentatonic. I'm just going to go up and back down a few times. And again, you can do a whole bunch of these, and then we're just going to do some very simple jamming with it. So here we go. Whoops. Do a whole bunch of those, you know, on your own, but start playing a little bit. repeat things. Same thing. Feel a thing. We start from the bottom. And so forth. So a little bit of jamming on there. Kind of limited with pentatonic and these few notes, but you get as creative as you can. Sometimes it's even more fun, like more challenging. You know, like if you're able to play all these scales and everything, having to be stuck in one little area and trying to be creative, that can be really challenging for more advanced players. So, but anyways, there you go. That's how that works. Just go ahead and again, just going up a little bit, down a little bit, repeating things, you know, building like little themes, and just do whatever you can. And again, if it's just simply not really sound like a whole lot, it's no big deal. It's all about just being able to go up the scale, back down a little bit, up the scale, getting used to doing that so you can start to develop your skills. So there you go. There's key of E minor in your E minor pentatonic. So let's keep moving along. Okay, so now here we go with A minor. Again, we're going to go up and down a few times. Again, you could do that tons of times on your own. Just do it a couple times. And then we're going to get into just doing some jamming. So here we go. Oh, 1 second. Up and down a few times. About you, get that groove. Tap your foot or move your body back and forth. You know, and get into it. Go up and down that scale. And then now, do that a bunch of times. Now we're just going to do some jamming. a little. Speed it up a little. There you go. You get the idea. Just play around, have fun. You know, of course, the last stuff you're not going to be able to do right now, but just yeah, just have fun with it. Again, up a little, down a little bit up, a little bit down. Mess around, repeat things. You know, it's all about just trying to go get used to your fingers moving around, little by little, trying to hear that music, connect to the music, make sure you're with the beat. You know, you gotta really feel that beat. That helps you with creating phrases and stuff. So yeah, put some work into that, and yeah, have some fun with all that. Okay, so there you go. We went through the C major scale, A minor pentatonic, and the E minor pentatonic, and the A minor pentatonic. So yeah, just go through that again. Spend some time just simply going up and down the scale. Get used to that. And then you can do in the very beginning, you could do a lot of that, and then start doing just a little bit of improvising, you know, because it might be a little bit difficult for you at first. And then as you get better at the mechanics of going through it, start doing a little bit more and more improvising until you're doing like half and half, and then maybe you can even do a little bit less of the going through the scale and more improvising. But always do a little bit of going through the scale though. You want to keep that you know, your exercises up. So another thing I want to talk about before wrapping this up is what I call the suck phase. So nobody comes out sounding great when you're doing this. You know, you might have some that maybe they take to it a little bit more easier, and they're able to go through and actually start making some melodies, you know, relatively quickly. And but there's a lot that start doing this, and they just don't know what to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you just take your time and just, you know, apply, you know, the techniques I was talking about here, just going up a little bit, you know, going down a little bit. Just really connect to that music, you know, try the best you can. And it's all about at first just kind of just getting through the mechanics, and it's just not going to sound great. You know, you're going to be playing like, oh my god, I stink at this, and you know, I'm just no good at it. Well, again, this is the suck phase. We all go through it, you know, and you've got to push through it. If you do not you're like, oh, I stink at this, and you start avoiding it, then guess what? You're going to keep avoiding it and keep avoiding it, and then 10 years from now, you're going to be like, I want to play lead now. You did all that time you wasted, but you weren't playing lead. And you're going to be like, oh, I wish I would just went and just started it way back then. I'd be so good now. So you don't want to be that person. Just go ahead and just push through it, because it's just going to stink. You're going to maybe even get like, my God, get frustrated. But push through it, because as you push through it, little by little, it's going to start to, sound pretty cool. You're going to be like, oh, well, that kind of started to sound like it made sense. It didn't sound like I'm just running through a scale now. I started repeating these things, and it's actually starting to sound a little bit like music. And then as you go along, you'll learn some like hammer-on, pull-off licks or something, and then you apply those, and it's like, whoa, that actually sounded pretty good, little by little. And that's getting through that suck phase, and then all of a sudden, that's when you start enjoying it. It's starting to sound good. But you just got to get through the suck phase, because, yeah, you're going to suck at first. Just face that, deal with it, and then you can move on. Don't let that destroy all your ambitions for playing lead guitar. It has nothing to do with you being talented or not being talented. You're not meant to do that. No, it's just a normal part of the process. So just push right through it, and you'll start getting better at it. It may take some time, but you'll get better at it. Just take your time. So there you go. There's some jamming in that. Work on that. If you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, we'll just keep moving along. All right. Take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon.